Hello, everybody. My name is Majd. I'm the founder and CEO at Altura. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about Web3 gaming and its potential to revolutionize the gaming industry. Before we get into that, I'm going to speak a little bit about myself. So I've been programming for the last 7 years. I'm a software engineer through and through, and I've been playing a lot of video games throughout my childhood. I have over 3,000 hours in Counter-Strike Global Offensive, one of the biggest first-person shooters in the world. Counter-Strike has in-game assets that sometimes can be valued at over $40,000, and as a child, these assets blew my mind. I couldn't believe that players were spending so much money on digital items just to sell them and trade them around to each other. I attended the University of Toronto for computer engineering, and I dropped out first year to start Altura. So let's touch a little bit about the gaming industry. The gaming industry is one of the largest industries in the world. It's worth over $246 billion. For scale, the movie industry is worth $97 billion, and the music industry is worth $12 billion. This makes the gaming industry twice the size of the movie and music industry combined. On top of that, there are over 3 billion gamers in the world. That's almost half the global population. What does this mean? This means that billions of people are already very comfortable and familiar with digital assets and transacting them. This indicates a market ready for Web3. So let's talk about Web3 gaming. Web3 gaming shouldn't be the sole focus of video games. Nobody really plays games for the technology that's in the game. People play video games because they're fun, they're entertaining, and they want to play the game. Us at Altura believe that the purpose of Web3 in gaming is to enhance the gaming experience as opposed to creating a game solely for the focus of blockchain. We believe that what Web3 is essentially the best framework for creating more dynamic, global, digital economies in video games. We believe that Web3 is the best toolkit for creating free markets in the digital space. Entrepreneurs no longer have to rely on using payment processors, on relying on third-party companies, on services like Steam taking a 30% cut. Instead, they can use a framework and technology that's already available that allows for creating the best types of games that allow for the best types of asset trading. So a common question that we often get is, when are we going to see Web3 games actually flourish? And we are talking with some of the largest teams in the space, teams with actual funding, solid background, strong top-tier talent, and these games are on the precedent of launching and coming to market. If anybody has any questions about Web3 or the gaming space, happy to take them now. Tanner?
Altura.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of Altura's key competitive advantages is its interoperability. So our sole focus is to make sure that developers have the freedom to build whatever kind of game they want. We don't want developers to be locked in and constrained based on the blockchains that are out there or the type of technologies that are out there. So one of our biggest values is ensuring that developers have the ability to build on any blockchain and the ability to use any tools in the space. So our platform and all of our products essentially work with all other Web3 gaming infrastructure products very seamlessly. So this makes it such that if a company chooses to use Altura, they're not constrained within our ecosystem, but they can use our products alongside other products in the space.
Testing. Hey, Mej, big fan.
Thank you.
I heard you guys use dynamic NFTs or smart NFTs. What is a smart NFT?
Absolutely. So a smart NFT is an NFT that can change. Essentially, the current state of NFTs is static. So if you think of a bored ape, the image never changes. But in video games, we need these assets to change. So for example, if you have a car and you want to spend money to upgrade that car, you don't expect to get a new NFT. You expect that asset to change. And so Altura provides the technology and functionality for developers to enable that kind of change in the asset. So whether that's the image, the properties, etc., a smart NFT is an NFT that evolves and changes with the player's experience in the game. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for answering. I actually have a question a little bit about community. I know like crypto is a small village, let's say, and everyone try to fight for the community and looking for developers, gaming groups and etc. Do you feel like you also have issue with community? I mean, do you see how we can grow the community to have enough for each project?
The Altura's community or video games communities?
Video games.
So
Thank you. Sorry.
I believe that a games community solely relies on how fun that game is. So I think that the best way to grow a community is essentially to build a really good game and present the benefits and the reasons why players would want to play that game. So I don't think there's any way around it. You just build a good game and present the value that that adds to players.
Any other questions?
First of all, there's lots of L's on the Counter-Strike. You don't look that old. So if you would build Counter-Strike in Web3,
Yeah.
what would that be like?
What would Counter-Strike in Web3 be like?
That's right, yeah.
Absolutely. So the assets themselves would be NFTs. I think it's pretty simple. But the difference is that these assets would be able to be traded globally and for free or very little fee, as opposed to needing to go through Steam, needing to go through different payment processors, all different kinds of Web2 technologies. Instead, it's going to be democratized and on the blockchain. And the appeal of that is that the assets are essentially owned by the player. That's one of the key advantages of Web3 gaming. And blockchain technology in and of itself, we believe, is a much superior and better technology to use for building free markets as opposed to traditional Web2 systems.